Hi guys, and welcome to my first tutorial, my first proper tutorial. Okay, so a few days ago I went and saw Civil War and I loved it. And I wanted to do a tutorial on this for ages, and I thought this would be a perfect time to do it. This is a Captain America Lolita dress that I did for my Live dolls, and it goes with a bag and everything. So here's a tutorial on how I did the dress. And I'll be putting up the pattern, the original pattern that I made for it on Facebook and Google Plus and places like that. And yeah, so this tutorial is for the dress, and the next one I do is for the bag. And here's a quick shot of the fabric I used. You can use whatever fabric you like, but I would recommend you use fabric that doesn't fray because these pieces are really tiny, so fraying is not very good. Okay, so as you can see I'm starting off with some blue thread, and I'm going to be stitching the blue top part of the bodice. Most of this dress is hand sewn. The very part of the skirt is sewn on a sewing machine, but everything else is hand sewn. And if you've never hand sewn, I'd do a little bit of practice first. But essentially, if you just keep the stitches really tiny, then it should work fine. And here's a quick little shot. It's not quite fitting as well as I'd like it, so I'm just going to go back quickly and put some tiny little tucks just under the bodice there. Ta-da! Okay, starting off with the pieces that go under the blue section. And I'm going to be using some white thread. You could use red or white thread, but white thread just happened to be what I had on hand at the moment. And I'm going to start off with the middle piece and just start stitching the side pieces onto that. So a quick little word on the fabrics that I used. I found some really good quality, I think it's quilting cotton from Spotlight in a really awesome Captain America print, and I used it for the skirt. And for another dresses, this is about the third Captain America dress that I've done, I used the grey part of the fabric for the silver part of the bodice there, because it looked like almost like a camo, almost like a grey and white camo, and it looked really good. And I'll also be posting a whole bunch of pictures that I took. You'll see a couple of them at the end of the video. And there we go! And that's how it's going to fit. Looks a tiny little bit twisted, but once the top and the skirts settle on, it'll look really good. Okay, next we're going to be stitching the blue section onto the stripes, or the little corset section, and we're going to be sewing it right side to right side. Like that. And that's how it's going to look. And the next section we're going to do is the side back, which is going to be a strip of silver and a strip of red. And we'll be stitching right side to right side again. And they're going to be sewn on like that. So right side to right side again. And when it's sewn on and you fold it back, it should look something like this. Ta-da! This is it with both pieces on. And as you can see, I've sewn all the edges of the blue inwards, and you can't really see it in the footage, but I have gone all around all of the seams with a dark red thread as kind of a little decoration. And that's the bodice done. And now for the skirt. And for the hem, instead of sewing it, I put a strip of Bondaweb around it and ironed it, which I love Bondaweb. It makes it so flat and smooth. And you can get it on eBay really cheaply, so that's pretty cool. And I'm also going to Bondaweb the back, the little overlap where you're going to put either Velcro or press studs or whatever you'd like to use to fasten it. And now to make the skirt, you can either use a little gathering stitch, like either hand sewn or on a sewing machine. I decided to do little pleats, which took ages. I don't know why I decided to do pleats for some reason, but I did, and I had to unpick it a couple of times because I made it a tiny bit too short or a tiny bit too long, and that was annoying. But I think it looks pretty good when it's finished. That's what the little pleats look like, and that's it once it's at its final proper length that it actually fits. And next you're going to sew it again right side to the skirt. And also when I was stitching it, I made sure the very center panel was sort of tucked upwards so I didn't stitch it onto the fabric. And what that does when you flip it around, it leaves this really cute little panel just sitting on the top, and I think it looks really pretty. And then you're going to turn it inside out and do a quick little stitch up the back, a little more than halfway up the back. And there is your completed dress. It's a tiny little bit more complicated than it looks. This isn't really a step-by-step tutorial, it's more of a little overview of what I did. And here it is with its little star and some glitter that I added on. And that's it guys, hope you liked the tutorial. I'll be making a lot more tutorials like this pretty soon. And the next tutorial I'm going to do is for the Lolita bag that goes with this, which is a really simple one that's really fun to do. So I hope you liked it.